Mr. Lakatos teaches science, and today we'll be going over the scientific method. Now, the scientific method is how scientists, and almost how everybody, answers a question or solves a problem. So, there's 5 parts to the scientific method. First, you have to identify the problem or the question that you want to answer. Second, you make a hypothesis. The hypothesis is an educated guess as to what the answer to your question would be. We design and conduct an experiment, followed by recording and analyzing our data, and at the end we state a conclusion as to whether our hypothesis was right or wrong and why it turned out that way. Now, when we design the experiment, 2 very important things you have to focus on is in our experiment, what is the independent variable and what is a dependent variable. I will explain that as we go along. Okay, so in our experiment today, we will have a cart, this candy racer. We'll go down the ramp and travel to the brick. The distance between the ramp and the brick is 70 centimeters. And what we will be looking at is, as we add bricks to the ramp, how does the speed of the car change? So, to do the first one, everything most important that we need is we need our data table. So in the data table, I already have it filled out, the height. So 6 centimeters is 1 brick. Each brick is 6 centimeters. So 2 bricks is 12, 3 bricks is 18 centimeters. The distance from the ramp to the brick is 70 centimeters. So what we will be measuring is the time, and then we will calculate the speed each time it went down the ramp. So to do this, using a phone as my timer, and I will start it once I let go of the cart and stop when it hits the brick. So here we go for our first test. Oop, it didn't start. Let me try it again. Okay. And here we go. So 1.58 was for the 1 brick. So for our time, we have 1.58 seconds. So there you go from our first experiment. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add another brick to it. And we're going to do our second trial. For the second trial, we have 2 bricks now. We'll set up the cart and measure how long it takes to go 70 centimeters. So here we go. Okay, so for the second one, it was 1.10 seconds. So we see with the second one, it was faster than the first one. Okay, and we will move on to doing it with 3 bricks in our final test. So in the third trial, we are doing it now with 3 bricks. And we will measure how many seconds it takes for it to go the 70 centimeters to the brick. Let's see, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so for this last one, it took 0.8 seconds to get to the brick. So we'll fill in our data table. 0.8 seconds. So now the last thing we have to do is we have to take the distance of 70 centimeters, divide it by the time, and find out how fast the car was going with each different height of the ramp. Okay. So when we calculate our data, we'll see with one brick at 6 centimeters, it went 70 centimeters in 1.58 seconds, which gave us a speed of 44.3 centimeters per second. Your centimeters and your seconds. With 2 bricks, when it was 12 centimeters, the speed increased to 63.3 centimeters per second. And in the final one, with 3 bricks at 18 centimeters, the speed increased to 87.5 centimeters per second. So how does that work into our scientific method? So, when you look at it, the problem was, how does raising the height affect the speed of the car? For a hypothesis, okay, you always use if, then, because. So if I raise the height of the ramp, then the speed would be faster because, and explain why you think the speed would be faster. Now, in every experiment, you have an independent variable and the dependent variable. The independent is the thing that you change. So the thing that we changed in this experiment is we changed how many bricks we were using. We changed the height of the ramp. Dependent variable was the thing that changed when we changed the height of the ramp. So when you look at the data table, the thing that changed was the speed. As we raised the ramp, the speed of the car got faster. So we recorded and analyzed our data from the data table, and in your conclusion for an experiment, you have to explain if your hypothesis was right or wrong, and if you said as you made the ramp higher, the speed would be faster, you would be right. And then why or how do you know? And you always know by the data that you collect. Now, when you do an experiment, most experiments, the hypothesis is wrong. And that's why scientists keep on doing experiments over and over again until they figure out the exact reason. With this one, it was fairly easy for us to see, as you make the ramp higher, of course, the car would go faster. So with that, that's a brief, in a nutshell, the scientific method. I hope you enjoyed it and have a great day.